Hi guys, Draven here. I planted a squash garden this year and planning to go vertical on it. And I couldn't find a whole lot on growing squashes vertically, especially when they're actually in full growth mode. So I had kind of underestimated how big these things get, so I wanted to do a little video on it. So here is one of my spaghetti squashes. And this right here is a cattle fence that I had cut down into 4-foot pieces because my beds are raised beds. They're 4x8s, and I have 4 squashes. They're supposed to be 2, but they didn't outcompete each other, so they all grew. So I just went ahead and trailed them all up. But you can see down there, I started tying them up to the railing, and they quickly exceeded my 4 feet. I had to stick this thing on there because I have a fence back here, and I just let them grow up to what they're going to do, and now they're trailing along the top of the fence. And at this point I'm just like, you go, I'll see what happens. But I have learned that squashes are very like cucumbers in that they will prune the same way. They will grow the same way. They will be pruned the same way. And right there is an example of my pie pumpkin. Got it growing vertically up the path here, and there's the top new growth right here coming in. In terms of what do I mean by pruning them, let's see if I can find one. There's one. Oop. Pardon me as I move around here in my jungle. Okay, so what do I mean by I have to prune my squashes the same that I would a cucumber? This is a pumpkin, and I've been pruning this all the way up so that it grows a single stalk that I can easily train up. And you see this little leaf right here, this little guy, that is what I need to cut off, because at every juncture here you get the continuation of the growth. So this is all the new stuff. If I cut this off, the vine can't grow anymore. So I know that this is here, it's safe. So this little guy is what I don't want. But every juncture throws up a leaf. Obviously you want to keep the leaf because that's where its food's coming from. Throwing up a bloom, in this case it's a female bloom. It also throws out this little tendril here. So you want to keep all the good stuff. And this little guy, if allowed to grow, will become a whole new vine. Well, I don't want a whole new vine because I'm trying to grow vertically here. So I'm going to take that and just pinch it off. So, let's see if I can get it. There we go, into the camera. Focus. Focus. No, let's go further away. Anyway, this little guy, now he just goes away. And now I take this and I'm going to tie it up to there. And we will keep growing this otherwise sprawling squash straight up. And so this is my pie pumpkin, and you can see he's already about 6 feet tall. And there's one of my little pumpkins, and that's the way that they grow. They try to grow up, and then when the weight gets too much they start to slide down. So if I wanted to, I can tie the melons up with basically a melon hammock. So I'll probably do that there. Back out of my position here. Yeah. And I will probably do that with this particular squash here. He's getting really heavy, and all the weight is going right there. So some of the other squashes which I have hanging back there are much better supported overall, but this guy's right on the edge and he's hanging out the outside, so I'm gonna go get a little piece of fabric and make a little melon sling and support him that way. But that's what I've learned about growing melons vertically, is making sure that you pinch off that otherwise vine growth, so that way you can have a controlled, contained central stalk that you can grow vertically however high you need. That's not going to work. I have to stabilize it. But next year we've got plans for an 8-foot cap over top of my 4x8 bed, which you actually can't even see the walls anymore for my 4x8 bed. But so yeah, that is what I've learned about growing squashes vertically, and they do get huge. So if you plan on doing this, make space, plan ahead. I've seen people use these heavy cattle things like this, this is just super tough. I've also seen where they will use a net as long as the net is supported at the top. So I kind of think as long as the weight is supported, it doesn't really matter what you use. Just make sure it's got the support that it needs, because these melons can get quite heavy. And they're very prolific. So anyway, that's what I've learned about growing squashes vertically.